And also in tchotchkes, right? The whole thing about the flair, completely unnecessary. Just tell people how many pieces of flair to wear, and that's the end of the conversation. But this boss, like Joanna's boss, there's like at least 2, if not 3 scenes where he just keeps trying to talk her into wearing more pieces of flair, but she clearly doesn't care, and nobody should care because it's all complete nonsense. But it has nothing to do with serving food, and it has nothing to do with anything. It's just pure corporate culture where people have to fill time with these kinds of appearances, right? And that is where the bullshit comes from in this. Like, it's not really the work. Like, Initech probably puts out like, we don't even know what they make exactly, but it's probably a useful piece of software or something like that, right? But the nonsense comes from how people organize kind of the workplace. And I think that is kind of where the really relatable stuff comes in, where I kind of made a list here of all the things that as I was watching it, I was just nodding along. Yep, that rings true. That checks out. That's how it is. And that list gets longer every time I watch it because in between I have an extra year or 2 of work experience. So one example of this is the TPS reports. He made a mistake once, and now all of his 8 bosses remind him every time a TPS report is due, and he really needs to put that cover sheet on it because he forgot once. That is how that works, because once you get a reputation in a corporate environment, you can never shake it, right? And if your reputation is that you are the guy who forgets the cover sheets, you get reminded about the cover sheets every time. I've got another thing on the list here. There's this giant banner that says, "Is this good for the company?" As if that would motivate anybody. And I think that is kind of one of those things where people are just out of touch with just basic humanity, right? Where they have no idea what motivates people or what people care about. So they create this nonsense, right? Like, what employee has ever thought, okay, how can I help the company today? No, it's I'd like to do a good job, and I'd like the satisfaction of doing a good job, and I want to get along with my coworkers, and I want to get paid at the end of the month, and that's kind of why I'm here. But you have to pretend that you care about the company and the mission statement and all of that, right? So this is again something that is completely superfluous and just introduces nonsense into people's lives, but also doesn't accomplish anything.
I was gonna mention a name, but let me know.
Yeah, don't do it.
You can bleep it out.
It just starts with job interviews, right? Where you're supposed to lie to the interviewer about why you are really passionate about getting this job. No, it's like I like getting paid, and I think I can do the job and do it well, and in exchange for money, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm applying. But you're supposed to come up with some kind of story about how you've never been more passionate about this product or service.
I think next time I'm in the job market, maybe for an application I care a little bit less about. I kind of want to just try that and be like, I just want to be paid at the end of the month, and just kind of see what the reaction is to that.
Like, that's the honest answer to that question, right?
Well, mine's updated. I would really like to feed my son, please.
Why can you not just say, hey, you need this job done, and I think I can do it, and let's talk, right? Like, why can you not be honest about this, right? But nobody would ever risk it because you would be out immediately if you tried.